My first motorcycle was a Honda CBR600. Part of the reason that I ended up with the bike that I'm riding today, the CB, is because I kind of struggled riding that 600 as my first motorcycle, as anybody would, without any proper instruction. I knew from the first time that I was on my own motorcycle that I would ride forever. My name's Sarah Lahalih, and I ride a 1973 Honda CB175. I had been riding for almost 2 years without really knowing how to brake and corner. I finally took the course, so it was really empowering for me, life-changing. And so I went on to become an instructor for that course, and then quickly after that went on to open my own school, which I owned and operated for 10 years in Chicago. From my school that I had in Chicago, I sort of stemmed off into a few different things. I was hired for about 5 years to teach motorcycle training to the U.S. military. And so I traveled all over the U.S., Japan, Hawaii, and my role was to train instructors so they could start offering courses for military personnel, because motorcycle training was mandated in the military. Someone convinced me to do a track day, and they warned me on that day that I was finished, that I would want to race and I would get a race bike and my life would change, and they were right. I've had moments of glory in my helmet on the racetrack that I cannot replicate in real life. It's so rider active. It's so challenging in that every bit of your body is engaged. I was born to a Middle Eastern father. It was a very strict childhood, and boxing just doesn't really happen. I was already riding a motorcycle, which they also didn't know about. I wasn't about to tell them that I was in a ring getting my face pummeled. I thought I could keep that a secret until there was an article in the Chicago Sun-Times. Some of my dad's friends at work read the article and got really excited about it and came over to his desk and said, "We didn't know you had a champion boxer daughter." And he looked at them and said, "Neither did I." I was in a little bit of trouble. I convinced him to come to one of my fights, and it happened to be the first fight that I lost, and I lost it in a big way. It didn't go over very well. Kind of confirmed his reservations about me fighting, but I continued to fight for a few years after that. I think motorcycles and boxing correlate for me in that I love the movement of both of them. So I think that the flow of the body is very elegant. But I think from a personality standpoint, every activity that I'm involved in requires complete composure until moments of rocket launches, those moments of glory, the X factor. I think all of those, boxing has moments of explosion, but it also has moments of just kind of sitting back and waiting and picking your moment. And motorcycle racing has a lot of that as well, being completely composed, even in times of trouble, until you find that one pocket and explode. What makes a good teacher is someone who has empathy. And I was a student of boxing. I still am. And I was a student of motorcycling, and I always will be. I've been in their position, and boxing and motorcycling are both really vulnerable activities because of the potential to get hurt. Another thing about boxing is about getting knocked down and getting back up again. I was a champion boxer for 3 or 4 years before I lost a fight. The fall from the top is so very, very hard. So to kind of pick yourself back up and start over from that is a huge life lesson. Another thing that I really like about the world of motorcycles is it kind of teaches you how to be uncomfortable. If you're willing to be uncomfortable, the reward is that you get to drive and ride really awesome machines. The 73 Honda is a terrible little machine. It's so uncomfortable, it has a wooden seat, and I love every second of it. It's got to be a little unpredictable and totally impractical.